you in there, folks. This is Sheila E. from Tennessee, and we're going to do a meal today, and it's called Simple Chicken. It can be done in a crock pot, or we're going to do it in an oven in the pan with some cube chicken. So I'm going to show you the beginning. I've got a great big pack of chicken breast here, and I'm going to do all the trimming. It's got skinless, boneless, but some of the little gristles or piece of fat I'll take off of that. I'm going to save some of it, and I'm going to make a little bit of chicken and dumplings if you want to watch that too. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to open this pack of chicken, and what we're going to do is just, if there's anything on it, a lot of people don't trim it. I wash mine. I wash all the meat, and I just think that's what you do, whatever you want, but I always wash mine. So I'm going to turn the camera around with a hand that I've not handled the chicken with, to where you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. I think maybe right there. Now this is the chicken right here. So I'm going to put it in a bowl right here. Looks like there's about six pieces, I believe. So I'm going to leave this here to catch my trimmings. But first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash this chicken off. And while it's washing off, I'm going to go ahead and trim it. And then when I trim it, I don't think I'm going to need that cutting board. I'm going to lay it in this pan right here. And then we're going to put some stuff on it. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Some of this stuff that looks like this right here, I just don't. Now you do whatever you want to, but I don't like it. So you do whatever you want to do. And that little piece of fat right there. And some of this gristle, some people can take these out with a fork. I never have mastered that yet. Wish I could. They say you can. I think my daughter can when she fixes chicken. I just always try to cut it out as best I can right along the edges of it, and try not to waste no more than I have to. Alright, so it looks like we got that. I'm just going to wash it off good. And I'm going to lay it right here in this pan with these little napkins right here to draw the water up while I'm cutting the rest of it. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you. I'm going to leave it right there, and then I'll come back to you and show you when I cut it up in cubes, okay? So we'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. So I've got my chicken washed and trimmed up. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to start in the middle, and I'm going to cut it into cubes. And I've got a bowl right here sitting in the sink, and that's where I'm going to put it. So a little whistle. Now I'll tell you another thing, and I'm sure everybody that cooks knows this. Once you handle chicken or turkey, and I do have our gloves on today, you want to wash everything down that you handled in here's my bowl that I'm going to put my chicken in. Everything you've handled in make you some water, and put about a lead full of bleach in your sink water, and wipe everything down real good, because chicken is one of the easiest things that can make somebody sick. So we don't want to do that with our cooking. So I've always done it. My mama taught me how to do it, and I always seen her wash her kitchen down with bleach water. So here's my second piece of breast, and I saw another little tiny piece of gristle there. So we're just going to cut it up in cubes. Like I said, I've got a bowl sitting here in the sink. And we're going to, you can do this in the crock pot, and only thing different you would do in a crock pot is that you would leave your chicken whole, or either cut it in half, your chicken breast. And you could use thighs or legs or whatever you want. You can leave that whole. You can put a whole chicken in there, as far as if it's cut up, the breast and the thighs and the wings, whatever you like to eat, you can put in the crock pot. And then you would put all that stuff in there that I'm fixing to show you, but we're going to do it our way. So I'm putting mine in the oven, and I'm going to put a few seasonings on it, and then I'll show you how we're going to do simple chicken. And simple chicken can be done this way in the oven with it cut up in cubes, or it can be done in a crock pot and you can cook it all day long, and then when you get ready, when you come home from work or wherever, it'll be ready for you to put your cheeses in, because we've got some cheeses that go in right at last, and it'll be ready for you. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of this up, and then I'll be right back, okay? Sorry. Okay guys, I'm back, and the first thing I want to show you is these little throwaway metal pans are perfect for what we're about to do. And I'm going to go ahead and then spray my little pan just a little. I've got my oven on, just sprayed that just a little bit, on 350 convect or 350 bake, whatever your oven does, and everybody's is different. So I've got my little throwaway metal pan, and I'm going to put most of this chicken in here, but I'm going to save out a little bit to make some dumplings, and then have that chicken in there for the dumplings. And it don't take a whole lot. That's probably about 1 chicken breast. And I'm going to set that to the side, because what we're going to do now, I'm going to rinse these hands off with these gloves on really, really good. And then I'm going to take a paper towel and open my mayonnaise, even though I wash my hands off with the gloves on. And then I'm going to use this spoon, and I'm going to double this recipe. This recipe that I've got here is for, I want to say 2 pounds of chicken. Let me check and see. This is 5 pounds of 5.30 pounds of chicken. So just a little over 5 pounds of chicken. So the recipe calls for about 2 to 2.5 pounds of chicken. So the first thing I'm going to do is, like that other recipe, is I'm going to put 2 or 3 tablespoons. Now, like I said, I'm doubling it. So we're going to put 4 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Alright, and I'm going to put that back over there. And then I'm going to put my lid, just set that right over there with that napkin. Alright, then I'm going to put some paprika, and you just sprinkle to your taste. It's about well, that lid was off of that. Look at there. Had a big old hole, so it don't matter. It'll be good. And I'm going to put some garlic powder. Make sure the lid, I think the lid's completely off. No, there we go. Some of these lids don't stay on good. And then I'm going to put some Italian seasoning. This is called Simple Chicken, and it's a spaghetti dish, guys. You can use your low-calorie spaghetti. I'm going to put a little bit of oregano, and then I'm going to put some salt and pepper. And like I said, I did wash these gloves with Dawn dishwashing detergent and dried them off good. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to mix all this together. I'm going to put just a little olive oil, 2 or 3 swirls of that. And we're going to mix all this together with these gloved hands. And then we're going to put it in a 350-degree preheated oven for 30 minutes. You want to make sure that you get all this chicken coated with the spices and the mayonnaise and the little bit of olive oil that's in there. So these little throwaway pans are perfect for this, because I'm going to mix some other ingredients together in a big pot, and I'm going to have my spaghetti pot ready to boil my spaghetti. So it's really going to be a really hearty, healthy meal, and you don't have to put the spaghetti in it if you don't want to, but we're going to put some spaghetti in it. So anyway, guys, the update on my husband, he had his thyroid surgery yesterday, and he come through surgery good, and he's healing good, and we want to give God glory, praise, and thanks for that, because we know he had his hand about him and about the surgeon's hand, and we appreciate everybody that had anything to do with it, because they really done He really come out faster than what we thought, and he's doing really, really well. All right, so I'm going to wash my hands again, and I'm going to put this in the oven. I can go ahead and put this in the oven. 350 degrees, preheated oven for 30 minutes. And then after 30 minutes, we're going to take it out, sort of swirl it up a little bit, and then we're going to put it back in there for another 30 minutes. So I'm going to get my hands ready, washed and everything, and take these gloves, and I'm going to put a big old pot on here, and I'm going to show you what all goes in the pot. Remember, this is a double recipe because we've got just a little over 5 pounds. If you want to go by the recipe, you use 2 pounds, or what? I'll put it in the comments, the recipe, okay? So, but this is going to be in the comments, but it's for 2 pounds or 2.5 pounds. So mine's going to be double. All right, so I'll see you in a few. I almost forgot to show you, we've got this size kettle here. I'm going to put this about 1 chicken breast cut up, and I'm going to add some water, and I'm going to put it on to boil because that's what I'm going to make my dumplings with. So I just wanted to let you see that. Let me get my water in here, and I want quite a bit of water, probably just right about half of this kettle of water, because I'm going to add some chicken broth, and then when I'm going to get my, and then I'm going to add a can of cream of chicken, and then I'm going to add my dumplings. Pap's supposed to eat tender stuff, so he's decided he wants some chicken and dumplings. So you can see there the chicken and the water. I'm going to put that back here, and I'm just going to put that on a medium-high heat and let that begin to boil. So while that's boiling, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this stuff in a big kettle. So let me tell you what we've got here. I'm going to leave my seasonings out because I will re-season. We have a block of cream cheese, and this is great value. You can use Food Club or Philadelphia cream cheese. We have 2 triple cheddar. This is a 8-ounce, 2 8-ounce bags of cheddar, and it's called triple cheddar. This is an 8-ounce block of cream cheese. That will go on last. We've got 2 boxes, and this is 16-ounce boxes of spaghetti, just regular spaghetti. This is Food Club spaghetti. So that will be in our simple chicken recipe. Now what we're going to put in this is we're going to put 1 big can, and we're going to get this on, and we're going to let it start heating up so it'll be ready by the time our chicken is, so that we can put it all together. So this is a family size cream of chicken. This is a 22.6 ounce. We're going to put a can of 2 cans of cream of mushroom. Remember, I'm doubling it. If you were just using what my recipe calls for, it'd be a small can. It would be a 10-ounce can, 10.5-ounce can of cream of chicken, and 1 can of cream of mushroom. Since I'm doubling it, I'm using 2 cans of cream of mushroom and 1 can, big family size, 22-ounce can of cream of chicken. We've got, you would use 1 can of this in a regular recipe, so I'm doubling it with 2 cans of diced tomatoes with green chili. Alright, and then we'll use our season, and then we're going to use our spaghetti and our cheese. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in there and get it heated, and I'll show you the empty cans again, okay? See you in a few. Okay guys, I've got 2 cans of cream of mushroom. I'm going to put 2 cans of the diced chili, the diced tomatoes with the green chilies, and that's going to be juice and all. So this is the 2nd can of the diced tomatoes with green chilies, 2 cans of cream of mushroom, and then we've got this big old can, a 22-ounce can of cream of chicken. And what I'm going to do is I'm only going to get this mixed all together. And I'm going to put it on a medium-low heat till it gets good and bubbly and hot. And then I'm just going to set it back and let it simmer until we get our chicken done. And I'm also going to have my pot ready to put my spaghetti in too. It may be this pot. I may switch them around once I get this pretty hot. Okay, I'm going to put about probably a half a can of water. Not hardly. It's not hardly a half a can of water. It's about right in here. So just enough to keep it from burning. We're going to give that a good stir. Again, that's 1 big can of cream of chicken, 2 cans of diced tomatoes with green chilies, 2 cans of cream of mushroom, and that's all we're going to have in this so far. So what I'm going to do is put this on the back stove eye, and I'm going to let that come to a little heat and get that going there. So when my chicken gets done, we'll have that ready. So now I'm going to let you go. Got my kettle over here boiling to make some chicken and dumplings. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you, I did go ahead and move that big pot so I could have it for spaghetti. And this is the cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, and the diced tomatoes with chilies. That's in this, and it's just on a simmer. That's all it's on, it's just a simmer. And also I've got my water and chicken here. I want to add a little bit of salt to it. This is going to be for my dumplings, and a little bit of, just a tiny little bit of black pepper. That wasn't a tiny, it's probably a good teaspoon. And then I'm going to add 1 can of just my chicken broth right now, that's all. So, let's see if I can find it. And on my chicken broth, I just open the little corner of it and then turn around and open another little corner, because I'm going to put that whole can in that kettle. And this makes your chicken and dumplings really, I'm telling you, it's a game changer on chicken and dumplings. And this is great value chicken broth. It's got full sodium in it, that's why I didn't put much salt. Probably usually don't even put any salt till I get my dumplings ready to taste. So that was one 14.5 ounce great value chicken broth. So yeah, I got another one here just in case I need it. So I'm going to give this chicken a stir. I'm going to turn this chicken up on high, this chicken in water and broth, and then I'm going to let that cook till that chicken gets tender, and then we're going to make our dumplings. All right, so I've not put my spaghetti in the kettle right here. I've got it in water. I'll go ahead and show that to you. Got my chicken for my dumplings right here. This is the stuff that we're going to put our chicken in, and then this is my water for the spaghetti. So until everything starts to get done, I can't do anything else, but I am going to give you a little hint on a dessert that I'm going to make. It's going to be with some frozen blackberries, and you know the chocolate and the Boston cream icebox cake. And then you can do, we done a chocolate icebox cake, and then we done a chocolate lasagna. This is going to be just very simple blackberry vanilla icebox cake. Low calorie, everything's low calorie, no sugar. So we're going to see how this turns out. So this is going to be another good one. I truly believe it will be, with the fruit and the vanilla pudding and graham crackers. And Cool Whip. Cool Whip is either light or 0 sugar also. So I have a I 0 sugar vanilla pudding, and then we have some frozen blackberries. We've got graham crackers, and then we're going to use the low calorie or the 0 sugar Cool Whip. So we'll see how that'll be, and I'll have the I've got some blackberry jam that I'm going to put right on top of the layer of vanilla pudding, and I will record that when I start doing that, okay? But I don't want to do it till I get my chicken done, so I can take my chicken gloves off, and so then we'll start fresh with that, okay? So I'll see you soon, okay? Just in a few. Alright guys, let me show you what I've got here. Got my big bowl I'm gonna put my pudding in. Got my mixer. We got some milk. We got some graham crackers. We've got some zero sugar vanilla pudding. And then we have some sugar-free whipped cream. And then we're going to mix that with a light whipped cream, Cool Whip. So it will give it just a little bit of sweetness. And then we've got 2% milk. This is Food Club 2% milk. And then we've got some blackberry preserves just to add in with it. So I did find this in my refrigerator, and I've got quite a bit of it left. Quite a bit of it. Let me get a spoon here. And the date on it is July of 24. So I think that it's going to be fine. It looks good. Still looks good, still firm. I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to put a layer of that in there to get rid of that before that goes bad. What do you think about that? And this is going to be called a blackberry. It's going to be called a blackberry cheesecake icebox. Excuse me. A blackberry cheesecake icebox cake. Well, we'll get it right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with our graham crackers. We're going to open these up. And these is the Craven graham crackers. You can use whichever one you want. We're going to put a layer of graham crackers. And I've never made one like this using blackberries. I've made strawberry icebox cake. It has cream cheese, but I'm going to do the cream cheese. Let me get this out. Let me show you right here. There's my frozen blackberries. I need to go ahead and do that first and put them in that bowl. I've got a bowl here with a drain. See that? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those in that drain and let them, they've been frozen, and just any excess water that's in there will drain out. So I'll just have good old beautiful frozen strawberries. And they're just about halfway frozen because I've had them in the top of my refrigerator out of the freezer. I'm telling you guys, I just don't hardly have no strength in my hands no more. Okay, now that's two, and I'm going to give you these are Food Club, and these are 12-ounce packages of frozen blackberries, and I'll put that recipe on there too, because this is going to be one that I'm making up, so I'll have to put it on there because there's not a recipe for it. So that's the 12-ounce package of blackberries, frozen blackberries. So we've got these draining. I'm going to set those to the side for just a moment. Got my chicken over here boiling to make my dumplings. Got this on warm. Got my water ready for my spaghetti, but I don't have it turned on. Our chicken in the oven still likes 6 or 7 minutes before I have to turn it over. So we're going to do this while we're waiting. I like to multitask. I don't know about anybody else, but I like to multitask. So we're going to get that mixture ready right there. So we've got our blackberries draining. They're frozen. So we're going to put a first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a layer of graham crackers. This is going to be as low calorie as you can get. And I try to put 3, even if I have to turn them different ways all the way across, because you can count your calories like that. If they're 3 across, you can kind of square down using 3 graham crackers. And I think this big box of zero sugar instant vanilla pudding calls for 3 cups of milk. So we've got this right here ready. I'm going to set that to the side, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to add 3 cups of milk. This is Food Club milk, 2%. That's what we drink. If you want to use skim milk or low-fat milk, I think it'd be okay. I'm pretty sure skim milk would work. So we're going to leave that right here for a few minutes, just in case I have to add more milk. Because it's got to be a little bit thin to pour over everything. So I'm going to go ahead and put my my zero sugar family size pudding, vanilla pudding. And I was trying to see the ounces on it. Oh, it's a 15-ounce box, Jell-O zero sugar. I'll show that to you again. I know it looks upside down, but I don't know how to fix it to pour it down. I'm so crazy. So we're going to put this in here in my milk, and we're going to beat that up just a minute. I'm going to put just a little bit of Cool Whip, and this is the sugar-free. Get a knife and cut this thing off. Just about a half of this container will go in with your Jell-O pudding, and I'll put this recipe on there too. So we're just going to go about halfway and dump that out in there. And like I said, I'll have to write this down because I'm just sort of making it up as I go. Set this over here because I won't need it for a few minutes. I'm probably going to add 1 more cup of milk because I want it to be thin enough to go through the layers of wafers. I'm going to add a half a cup. So that's going to be 3½ cups. And I do have another box of vanilla zero sugar pudding if I need it. So we're going to set that right there. Got all my chicken and stuff going. That's still pretty thick right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a few of my blackberries. To my Jell-O pudding. That's probably about 2 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons, 6 tablespoons. Now you see this right here. That's my pudding with my milk, and then I'm adding a half a thing container of Cool Whip, sugar-free. So now I'm putting about 1 of those bags, or at least 3/4 of those bags of blackberries. And I'm going to set my mixer tongs right here, and I'm going to get a spoon and I'm going to taste of that. Thank you, Jesus. That's really good. It's not too sweet, but you got to remember we're going to put some blackberry jam preserves on top. So what I'm going to go ahead and start doing is I'm going to get me a big spoon here, a big old spoon, and I'm going to start my layers. So I want you to see what this looks like. This is 1 giant box of vanilla, zero sugar, instant pudding. It's a half a container of sugar, zero sugar, Cool Whip. And then we have 3.5 cups of milk. And then we put probably 3/4 of this 12-ounce bag of frozen blackberries in it that was half unthawed. So we'll start layering now. And these are blackberries, don't have any sugar. So we're just going to start layering this. And we'd like to get at least 2 layers out of it. This looks like it's going to be really good. I will take some pictures of it for you if we can keep them out of it long enough. And you just want to smooth that around. I'm going to do some fried chicken for you one day this week, Lord willing. Okay, we've got that first layer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this Philadelphia cheesecake no bake filling, and we're going to stir this up because this is still good till July 24. So we're going to just dab here and there. Now this has sugar in it, so I didn't add any sugar because it didn't taste like it was real sweet, so I knew the blackberries didn't have any sugar. So really this is all that the sugar is going to have in it. So it says fat free. I'm looking for the sugar. 15 grams, and it's this whole tub. Huh. So that's not too bad. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to try my best to smooth that out without getting the blackberry filling, Jello pudding filling, all mixed in with that. I don't want it mixed in with it. I'd like for that to be. I probably will just have one layer of that since that's all I've got left. So I'll just go ahead and put all that. That was about a half a container of the cheesecake no bake filling. And I just seen this in my refrigerator and I thought, well, that'd be a good way not to waste that. And when I go to put it on the comments, I will put that was a half a container of the cheesecake no bake filling. And you can see what I'm doing here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put a layer of Cool Whip. This half a tub that I had left, this is what we're going to use. Half a tub of no sugar, unthawed Cool Whip. Now let's do this first. I'm sorry, let's do this first. Let's put some of this blackberry jam in there. We're not going to put big bunches of it. This is going to give it some sweetness. I think what I'm doing is I'm turning it into not low calorie, huh? Blackberries are so good for you. And that was about 1/4 of that jar, so I don't think there's going to be no smoothing this out. It's just going to be here. Try to smooth it out just a little bit. Alright, so we're going to leave that there. I'm going to put a layer of Cool Whip. That was a half a container of the zero sugar Cool Whip. We use everything light or zero sugar that we can, but you still got to have a little something sweet every now and then. We're going to try to smooth that out over top, and then we're going to do another layer of graham crackers. I like a lot of graham crackers in it. The chicken over here for my dumplings is boiling right away. And I've got to turn my other chicken on another 30 minutes. So I'm going to try to hurry and get this one done, so I can turn that chicken over and put it on the 30 minutes, because I don't want to handle that and while I'm doing this. So you can see that. I'm going to take a few of the blackberries, put on top of the Cool Whip. And I want to leave a few for the top, just for presentation. So I think that's going to be plenty right there. And now what we're going to do is push these down. Make sure there's one here and yonder for everybody to have blackberry. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add another layer, a second layer of graham crackers. Say hi to all my new viewers. I really do appreciate you. I really do. If you will share and subscribe to your family and friends, it would make me happy. I'm getting my second layer, second thing of graham crackers. As you can see, I've got my second one. These are the Craven graham crackers. I really do like them. They taste really good. So this one broke, so it's no big deal. We'll just place it right in here anyway. And I'm going 3 across, so we'll know exactly how many calories to count. Those blackberries, they don't even have much calories at all. So really, what you're counting for your calories is going to be your Cool Whip and your Jello sugar-free pudding, and then the most thing is going to be the jam and the cheesecake filling that I added to it. That I wasn't going to add that cheesecake filling to it, but I saw it in there and I thought, well, that's a good way to use that. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to start our last layer, and I'm going to put all this on here. Okay, so now I'm going to spread that across, and you're going to get 2 good big size layers. And it's best to leave this, let it set in the refrigerator overnight, but I know we're not going to do that. We're going to probably have this after a while. Wrenching out my measuring cup so I can put it back up. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to get this other thing of Cool Whip. So we had 1 layer of just the cheesecake filling. And then, so we're going to do this right here. We're going to use this Cool Whip to do this layer, because the cheesecake filling's gone. Does that look good, guys? I will try my best to put it on the commented the same way that I did, that I made it. I'm going to put just a little bit of blackberry. There goes my spoon for it. I didn't even see it. Just a little here and there. Well, just a little here and there because we had quite a bit on that other layer. It won't matter if you mess up because you're not going to be able to see this part. So I think this is, this has 10 calories per serving, so it's in its own very little bit of sugar, very little. I don't even see any sugar, so it's probably in its own sweetness, 10 calories per tablespoon. So that's not much. We'll just go ahead and use the rest of this jar. This is just a little jar. Alright. Probably need to take a picture of that and those blackberries. I want to get another layer of crackers in here somehow or another. So I'm going to go ahead and do it like this. At least 2 whole sleeves of these crackers. This layer may not be as full. So I just, alright, you see that right there? Probably need to open another one. Probably need to take a picture of that too. So I'm going to have to use a few more out of here to make it right, because you can't count your calories if you ain't got 3 square down. So we're going to do 3 square down again. I hadn't even thought about that. When I looked at it, I'm thinking that's not 3 square down. So just need one more. Alright, and then we may put some of the crumbs on top. Alright. So now the last thing to do is our Cool Whip. We're going to do another layer of Cool Whip. And I've got another container. And I'm probably going to use it. And it's the light or zero sugar too. This is going to be a great old big blackberry cheesecake icebox cake. I might get by with not opening another one if I spread it pretty thin. But now if I was going to take this somewhere, I would, because you want it to look very full and presentable. And if you let it sit overnight, it gives it time to soak in. So you see how pretty that is? And like I said, your sweetness is going to come in. If you don't have a cheesecake, you can use a cheesecake jello and a vanilla jello. So we're going to leave that out too. So anyway, I'm going to take the rest of these blackberries. And I'm going to sort of place them. Let me wash my hands good. And then I'm going to take pictures of the things that we have in this blackberry cheesecake icebox. So I'm just going to place these berries, and these are still half frozen. And it won't matter, they'll be unthawed enough to eat by the time we get ready to eat it. Okay. So with my graham crackers that I had left, I'm going to take a couple and I'm going to crush them up. Hold on 1 minute, guys. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and I've got to get my chicken turned over and turned back on for another 30 minutes. And then I'll show you what the process is. I'm taking 2 more graham crackers. We like a lot of graham crackers in our icebox cake. Just crumbling them up. Alright, that's going to be the finished thing, and we had that much left out of a whole box of crackers. So I will take pictures of everything that I used in it. I want to wipe the edges off nice and clean before I put the lid on it. I'll take some pictures. So that's our Blackberry cheesecake icebox cake. Alright, be right back. Alright guys, my mixture here with the tomatoes, with the chilies, and the cream of chicken and the cream of mushroom. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of dried onions, or you can add a half an onion. So we didn't have time to do that, so I'm adding the dry onions. You can see right here I added 2 teaspoons. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. And then we're going to add, what did you say? 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. I'm going to take that little thing off right there. I did add a little bit of Italian seasoning and some garlic powder to the chicken with the mayonnaise and some paprika. But I didn't add but maybe a half a teaspoon to the whole thing. So there's 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. Is that it? And then we're going to mix this up, put it back over here, keep it warm. We're going to put our spaghetti on and get it ready. We've got how many minutes on our chicken? We've got 27 minutes on our chicken, and it will be ready for us to place all this together. So I'll see you in a few. Alright guys, my chicken for my chicken and dumplings is tender. I'm going to go ahead and shred that apart, and then I'm going to show you how to make my dumplings to go in it. Okay guys, I'm going to add another can of chicken broth to make my chicken dumplings. And I'm going to add this can of cream of chicken soup. The chicken's tender. I've got it shredded apart in there. And I just used about 4 pieces of it, and I put the other pieces that were cubed in the pan that we're going to do the chicken spaghetti with. So I'm going to go ahead and put this, I'm going to put this in my kettle where my chicken's boiling, right here. And this has got some water and chicken broth in it, and some chicken. A little bit of salt, and a little bit of black pepper. So this is going to be chicken and dumplings for Pappy, who's eating soft foods right now. So I'm going to take some of that chicken broth that I opened, and I'm going to go ahead and pour this can full so I can get all that goodness out of the cream of chicken. And that cream of chicken and that chicken broth makes your dumplings really, really good. And you all know that I don't do dumplings like everybody else. If you don't know, you're fixing to find out. So Jason, my nephew Jason, I want you to watch this. So It's cooked. It's about a cooked chicken breast or whatever you want it cooked to get your broth off of, and a can of chicken broth, and a can of, you add a can of chicken broth to your water and chicken, and then I had 2 cans of chicken broth, 1 can of cream of chicken, like that. So now I'm going to make my dumpling mix. So I hope you're watching, Jason. Over here's my chicken with my broth, and got some chicken cut up in it, shredded up in it. It's got a water, chicken, 2 cans of chicken broth, 1 can of cream of chicken. So now here's my dumplings. Here's my bowl. And I want just a few dumplings. So there's a half a cup. There's 1 cup. And we're going to go 1 more cup, so that'll be a cup and a half of flour. Because this makes the big old fat fluffy dumplings. That's what my family like. Now if you want the flat dumplings, you can mix it up the same way. Just make it a little stiffer. Put it on a some parchment paper or a board. And I'm going to get some just plain old cold water. Plain old cold water to add to this cup and a half of flour. And I've got my stove on. I've got my chicken broth coming to a boil. You can see how much water I got. So we're going to start stirring in this water. If you get too much water, you can always add more flour. If you get too much flour, you can always add more water. You want your dumpling mix to be stiff. Stiff enough that you could put it on a cutting board and roll it out if you wanted to. I'm going to add just a little tiny bit more water. That's a little bit too stiff for me. I don't like dry dumplings. So we're going to add just a little bit more. So that's about a cup and a fourth. You want them to sort of look moist. They're not. You don't want them too dry, or your dumplings will not turn out right. They'll just be stiff, and you want a good soft fluffy dumpling. This is the texture you're looking for. It's almost like drop biscuit texture. Alright, so now we're going to start. I'm going to pull you over here where you can see what I'm doing. This is my broth with my chicken. It's got chicken cooked in water with a can of chicken broth, very little salt, a little bit of black pepper, and of course you're going to taste that when you get done to see if it needs any more salt. But anyway, that cream of chicken and that chicken broth had a lot of salt, so that's why we're not going to add a whole lot more salt. Turning this up on high, I'm going to start dumping my dumplings by the spoonful. Make sure you got all that stirred up in there by the spoonful. Down in here, don't stir them. Cutting it down to medium heat now because it's got a little tiny rolling boil. I don't put shortening, butter, or nothing in my dumplings. If you use that chicken broth, that's got enough in it for your chickens to be, or your dumplings to be soft and fluffy. It's on a medium heat now. Once you start adding the dumplings, you're going to hear it cool off a little, and we're just going to leave that on a medium heat. We're going to try to push those dumplings down in there, but we're not stirring them. I've got another recipe for dumplings, and you can use this same recipe, youngins, for blackberry dumplings, peach dumplings, raspberry dumplings, strawberry dumplings. You just add a little sugar to your flour and your water mixture. That's all. And then you add butter to your blackberries or strawberries or whatever. I'm not going to taste of it right now, but I am going to add some more black pepper. Now what I'm going to do is help me a lid to go over it, and just let it sit there, and we're going to cut it down to a medium low. Here's my spoon. I'm not going to stir. So I'm going to help me a lid. If you don't find the lid, you can use a plate. This big old lid right there. And then I'll show you the finished stuff when we get done here. Alright, we've got 12 minutes on the chicken in the oven, and I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat on for my spaghetti. To put my spaghetti in, I'm going to add just a drizzle of olive oil to the water, and I'm going to add just a little salt to that water for the spaghetti. It's 2 or 3 swirls of your salt shaker. This is the spaghetti we'll be using. I've got 2 of them, and these are 16 ounce. So whatever's left, we'll put in the freezer. It will this meal is freezer good. We got 2 bags of cheddar, triple cheddar. I'm not sure we'll use both bags. We've got 1 8-ounce container of Great Value cream cheese, and this will go with the cream cheese. We'll cut it up in blocks, and it will go on in this when we add the chicken. We'll add the chicken, the spaghetti, and the sauce there all together, and we'll have what's called simple chicken spaghetti. And this is crock pot. You can do this in a crock pot too, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this up in blocks. Getting ready now. I'm going to show you my dumplings. They're just boiling right away, and they're on low now. So I'm going to take this lid off, and I'm going to go right around the edge. Let me show you, get you up here. I'm going to go right around the edge, honey. Right around the edge of them dumplings. Just making sure they're loose. And then we're going to try to cut in between to make each dumpling. And then I think there was one in the middle. So these are going to be great old big dumplings. I want you to look there, honey. Look there, Jason. See all that? Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it on down and put my lid back on it so they'll finish cooking. This is my sauce. I've got my water fixing to boil, and we're getting ready to put the spaghetti in. And the chicken that we're going to mix with this likes 10 minutes. So I'll be right back. Now once your dumplings get done and they're formed, you can turn them over. I added 1 more cup of water because I wanted some soup in this. I didn't want it to be real thick. So I'll show you that too. So there's the dumplings, and it's got plenty of soup with the dumpling. Alright, now we've got our water boiling for our spaghetti. I'm going to go ahead and put my spaghetti in. And I always break my spaghetti. I don't know what you do. You do whatever you want to do. And I had a little bit of oil. This is Food Club spaghetti, 16-ounce box. Well, like I said, if you have plenty of this left over, you can always put it in the freezer container and put it a little tag on it what it is, what day you put it in there, and you can take it out, put you a couple teaspoons or a tablespoon of water, and put it in the microwave on high for about 2.5 minutes. Just take it out and stir it, and then put it back in there for another about another 2 minutes. Alright, we're going to let this boil till it gets tender, and then we're going to add it, put it all together. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, this is our chicken out of the oven. 30 minutes on 350. Turn it over, another 3 minutes. And we're ready to plate just as soon as the spaghetti's tender. Alright, be right back. Alright guys, I got my spaghetti done. I've drained it. I didn't rinse it. You can rinse yours if you want to. We're going to start adding the chicken. And then I'm going to put let's put the cream cheese cut up first in this spaghetti. So it'll start melting. That's 1 block in chunks, cubed. We'll put this in sliced. We're going to start adding the chicken, and then we're going to start putting the sauce in and stirring it all together. So this is the chicken in chunks that we'd started out with. And this was about 5 pounds of chicken. So this is a double recipe, so I'll put it on. The recipe I'll put on there will be a single recipe, and you can double it if you want this much for a crowd. This is going to be a lot. I don't know how to cook little, and evidently my daughter don't either. But this would be good as a meal prep. Put in the freezer, put a date on it, put what it is. This is called simple chicken in the oven. Simple chicken and spaghetti in the crock pot, or simple chicken and spaghetti in the oven. This chicken would be good just by itself without anything, and a vegetable. I'm going to save some of this soup just to see if we need it. So we're going to go ahead and put this.
It probably needs to be in a quart bowl. I don't think you can get it mashed up in that.
Let me get a bigger bowl. Sorry about all that noise, guys. Okay, scoot that bowl over here. So we're going to transfer this because that's a lot. That is a lot, guys. My goodness, that's an 8-quart bowl. I can't cook little. So we're going to start stirring some of this chicken and cream cheese together. Probably wouldn't hurt to have a little butter in there. Butter makes everything better, you know. That's what Sue Lee says from Tennessee. So we're just trying to get that cream cheese melted. I'm going to go ahead, guys, and put this in there. Simple chicken and spaghetti in a crock pot or in the oven. That's a lot, people. That is a lot, people. I'm telling you, it's a lot. I'm telling you. That's Tennessee people for you. We really don't know how to cook little. But, buddy, don't that look good. Now, when we get it all stirred up, put me about a half a stick of butter in there. I'm going to go ahead and add some, probably, I don't know if we'll add both whole packs of that cheese. How many cups did it?
That'll take 4 cups, the singles 2.
4 cups we're supposed to add, so that's probably going to be these. That's going to be a lot of cheese. So it'll be both of these, and it's going to be cheesy. So just getting it all stirred up now, incorporated. This would probably feed 10 or 15 people. You want bread? I don't want bread either. I think this will be enough. Pasta will count as our bread. Now you can buy low calorie pasta now. I mean the spaghetti and stuff, and that'd be good to use with this too. We're still stirring. I'm gonna go ahead and get this finished stirred up, and then I'll put you back on. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and put the recipe calls for 2 cups, but we doubled the recipe, so these 2 bags are exactly 4 cups of triple cheddar or just cheddar. This takes muscle to stir this up. So by the time when I get it all stirred up, I'll put you back on here because I'm going to have an extra arm. See you in a minute. Alright guys, here got the finished product on this. I done got my husband a bowl of dumplings and I forgot to take a picture of it. But here's the simple chicken spaghetti. And this was made in the oven and on top of the stove, but you can do this in a crock pot and put it all together in the morning and it'll be ready by supper. And honey, this is delicious. And I wanted to show you my dumplings. There's my dumplings. And we done got some big dumplings out of it, and there's some more. Look here what dumplings, honey. And them's just as fluffy as they can be. So, I hope you enjoy the video. I'll try to take some pictures of the Blackberry, low calorie, no sugar, Icebox cheesecake. Alright, so I'll see you soon. Until I see you again, may you give God glory, praise, and thanks for all He does for us. Always share, always smile, because smiles are contagious. Always give somebody hugs. And tell your loved ones you love them every day, because we're not promised another minute or another tomorrow. So this is Sheila E. with another recipe, and we got a dessert and some dumplings on the side. Out of 1 pack of chicken, we got the spaghetti chicken, simple spaghetti chicken, and then we got chicken and dumplings. All right, so I'll see you soon. Sheila E. from Tennessee.